My name is Teresa Sanderson, and we are here today for another episode of the Wednesday Spotlight. And our guest today is Miss Shaylon Scott of Frisco, Texas. And Shaylon works with an organization or her business called Book Mecca, which is all about featuring and spotlighting the work of Black authors in Black literature. So this is a really, I think, just a beautiful thing that she's doing. And of course, on the Wednesday Spotlight, I think everybody knows that we feature one woman entrepreneur who has a history of or lives with depression or some kind of mental illness. We do that to shine a light on mental illness in general and let people know that it probably looks like the smiling face sitting right next to you, because that's typically how we look. So, Shaylon, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here to join us today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell us a little bit more about your business and, what sparked you get involved in that and how's that going for you?
Great, great. Well,
Yeah.
I'm Shaylon, and my business is called Book Mecca. It's an online Black bookstore and literary platform for Black authors and all things Black lit. And the idea
Mhm.
started just simply from my children. They have a strong desire to read, and it didn't start out that way. I have a daughter that has dyslexia, and so it was a struggle for her to read.
Mhm.
And so we made reading and kind of ingrained it. So it was everywhere. The library became a safe place for us. And we got to the point to where they found these authors they loved, but we had problems finding the books. And these are New York
Mhm.
Times best-selling books. And so we would go around and go to libraries and bookstores and couldn't find them. And so a relative of mine said, "Why don't you just start your own bookstore?" And so I said, "Okay, well, I'll try it."
It's just that little thing, huh?
Yeah, I said, I'll try it and maybe curate the book together. And then from there, I got such an interest and a love for not just the books, but the writers behind it that people want to know, how did they get started? How do you even get involved? And it's just exploding into what it is now. It's more of a movement than anything.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So it's such a wonderful, wonderful thing. I think reading is one of those things that you can go anywhere in a book, right? And that's just
Absolutely.
such a wonderful thing to be able to do. So awesome. Well, tell us a little bit. Now I want to get into a little bit of how, when depression entered your life, um, and what was that like for you, your initial experience?
Well, I'd say my first depression was actually seeing it in my mother. I didn't know
Mm,
she ever had depression until I saw the medication. And this was when I was in
mhm.
high school. And it still didn't dawn on me that my mom, who smiles all the time and she's always at every event, always there, could be depressed. And so it just
Yeah.
kind of my mind as I went about, growing up. And it truly hit me when I had my second daughter and I went through postpartum depression.
Oh
And
man.
that was earth shattering because I didn't know what was wrong with me. I thought wasn't a good mom. I'm not supposed to be a mom. Something is wrong with me.
Mm.
And it wasn't until I got to a point to where I had to find sources because no one noticed it but myself. I knew something was wrong, but everyone else just said, you smile and you have a good time when people are around
Mhm.
you. You do
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do with your kids. They're fed, they're clean, they're taken care of. But on the inside, I was just screaming. And so I
Mhm.
had to just find something myself. And it was a commercial on the TV. One of
Mhm.
those that say, if you're experiencing these symptoms, call this number for help. And so I called and they immediately transferred me to a therapist in Austin. And I told her my
Wow.
story, just opened up and told her everything. And the first thing I told her, I don't have money. I wasn't working. I was a brand new mom and I had no transportation. And she immediately said, just come and see me. Take a bus,
Mm.
come see me. I will see you for free. And she saw me for months until I could get
Wow.
stable. That was my very first experience.
Wow. And what a blessing, that the voice on the end of the line was somebody who said, I don't care. I
Mhm.
don't care about the money. I don't care about any of that. Just come see me, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
What a life, just a life preserver being tossed out, right? Yeah.
Yes. 'Cause I don't know where I would
And
have
I
been
so
if she didn't say that. Yeah.
mhm. And I so agree that we go along with our mental illness, depression, whatever it is, and we continue to just do all the things that we believe we can do and want to do and need to do, just like we did when we didn't feel this way. And so we
Mhm.
just stuff it and stuff it and stuff it, and then how do we end up? I mean, it's terrible, but we continue keeping on, even though we feel terrible. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your story really brings that to light for sure. Now, what are some of the things that you do today, in the course of a regular day while you're working to take care of yourself?
Well, I will say this, outside of the regular norm things that I do to try to keep myself sane, I maintain therapy. I do. I'm
Yeah.
a big advocate for therapy. I know when COVID
Mhm.
hit, prior to that, I was going in person once a week. And a
Mhm.
lot of the colleges, they have those cohorts where they are training the counselors to come through. And so it's a really good resource, especially if your money's a little funny or if
Mhm.
you're trying to find someone to grow with.
Mhm.
It's a good place to start. So I did it. Then when COVID hit, it was therapy, and I was very nervous,
Mhm.
concerned, but
Yep.
it worked out really well. So I do that once a week. I maintain that once a week. I'm talking
Awesome.
to someone. And another
Mhm.
thing I've done is I found it's sort of like in AA for therapy. It's just a group of like-minded people that stay mentally present and aware, and we all meet once a
Love
week.
that.
It is so great. I mean, it's just we call it because I don't know any of
Uh-huh.
the people, and they just come and they talk about all different topics from codependency to daddy issues to just feeling ugh one day,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
you name it. And so those are the things I maintain every week. Just I can't just stay in my own head.
I love that. And you just build this in every week because it's been helpful, it's life-giving, there's no stigma,
Mhm.
right? And
Absolutely.
did it take you a while to get there to where it felt like there's no stigma with this kind of thing? I mean, how was that for you? This is a little off the beaten path of a question. Sorry.
Yeah, oh no, that's okay. I love, different questions. But yes, it did take me a while to get there because
Yeah.
when things first started kind of getting rocky, especially moving from a marriage and I went through a divorce and being a
Mm,
single mom, having to deal with all that transition, that's a lot of emotions, not just for me, but for my kids. And I'm worried about the future and all these things. Um, but I was trying to do them all on my own without telling anyone
mhm,
else that I'm struggling. Even
mhm,
so, I had to learn to open up and say it's okay to tell people, hey, today is not a good
mhm.
day. I am not at my best. Even
Mhm.
my employer, I let them know I am taking these moments. And for about 3 or 4 months, at a very rough point, I took an hour for my lunch and I took my own therapy days. So I would go
Uh-huh.
and do my sessions. Said, if you want me to be a productive, employee, mom, member of society, I need a moment, recalibrate, get myself
Yeah.
back together. And
I
so
love
just
that.
they were very understanding because everyone goes through it,
Mhm.
just not everyone talks about it.
Right, right. Very true, very true. So now, if anything, what is something positive that has come out of your experience with having had or having depression?
I'd say is learning to listen to my body because often when things are feeling a little uneasy or uncertain, there are triggers or signs that your body is telling you. When you are feeling that the breath shorten, or I know for myself, my hands get a little shaky. I have issues really focusing, even though I can see fine with my glasses and things, but focusing is a something that kind of gives me, I need to take a walk. I need to take a breath.
Mhm.
Maybe I need to dig into sitting this uncomfortable and figure out what's going on before I
Okay.
move on.
I love that. So it sounds like the positive thing for you that has come out of it is being able to listen to the signals your body is trying to give
Yeah,
so that you can change what's happening, right? Yeah.
absolutely.
Wonderful. That is so great. And I think the only thing I got to share with you that I am a huge advocate of therapy as well. I had my first major relapse of depression just a few months ago in August of last year. And it felt as intense as the very first time. And so it really scared me because the first time I couldn't work for 3 years, and I just thought, oh my goodness, here we go again. But the good news was I was able to call my therapist. We increased my counseling. We just barely adjusted my meds. And within 3 weeks, I was up and going, feeling about the
Yeah,
same, almost normal again. So I totally agree with you. I think we have all these tools in the toolkit, and there's a right time for us to pull all of them off the shelf, just like a good book, right? We need to go back and
yeah,
pull that one off and
absolutely.
reread sometimes.
Yes.
Oh gosh. And so lastly, if there's any one thing that you would want the world to know about mental illness or depression, something that you would just want to shout from the rooftops and make sure that everybody heard, what would that be?
Say it's that it doesn't look the same. Um,
Mm.
I don't know how many times I even tell myself um, the times when I don't feel my best, not the same as it is at 35. It's not the same as it is at 20. And
Mhm.
as time grows on and as things happen, I need different tools from that toolkit. I need different things that'll help me. And so I can't rely on that adage of this is and looks like this is what I need. I need a pill. I need a therapy. I may not need that at 36, 38. I may need
Mhm.
something different. It looks completely different and it's okay.
Mhm. I love that. Great messages. I just love all that you have to share. It's a very unique perspective, and I think it's true though. And there's something, I'm an RN for 30 years, and so I know that some of the things that people don't think about when they think about, well, I need more medication now than I used to. It means I'm getting worse. Sometimes we interpret that as it means I'm getting worse or I'm not managing my symptoms as well, when really our body just develops a tolerance to certain things. And so
Yeah.
we need more of that to get the same effect. But it's so hard, and depression can tell us so many lies about, how we're doing and not doing and whatever. So I love your story about what we may need now is different than what we may need a year or 5 years or 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's wonderful. All right. Well, listen, I want to, first of all, thank you so very much for being here to share your story. And before we finish, Shaylon, I do want to give you about 5 minutes to just chat with us a little more about your business, how people can connect with you, and if there's anything you have going on that you would like our community to know about. The floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to share that book is all online. So no matter where you are in the US, you can order books. It's just like Amazon directly to your door. So if you're looking for a specific book, thing that makes Mecca very unique is that it's personally curated. There aren't any algorithms or specific publishers that are pushing books to be placed. A lot of them are self-published authors, independent authors that want their works to be read. And so I host the books for all Black authors of African American or African descent on our site for free. They can come and put their books there and sell them and get those profits, and it works wonderfully for them. Um, Another big thing I really love is the author interviews. Once a month, we interview nationally known author on live stream. It's on Facebook and YouTube Live every month, and that's on Book Mecca. And so you can
Mhm.
come and you can find all kinds of authors. Uh, a lot of them, especially when I started, I didn't think they would say yes to me, but they were like, "Yeah, we'll come on." I was so surprised. January. I know I'm like little old me, but January has been a blessing already. On the
Awesome.
21st, we will have Britt Bennett, and she is one of New York Times best-selling authors. I mean, she's in the top 10 books on every list you can think of for all of 2020. Even Barack Obama's list, she's I think number 5 on his list.
Oh
Her
man.
book are amazing. And so I'll be speaking with her on the 21st. So I'm excited about
That is
another,
exciting.
I tell you, it's just mind blowing. Mind blowing.
Wow. And so how do our viewers connect with Book Mecca? What's the website address?
The website is bookmecca.org. That's
Okay.
BOOKMECCA.org. And you can find the link to our Facebook, directly to our Instagram, on Twitter, our YouTube page, all of that, as well as finding ways to connect. If you're yourself, you're interested in writing, you're not sure about writing, dibbling dabbling, you can contact us and see how you want to get involved that way too.
All right. Well, that is wonderful. Shaylon, again, I want to give you just a thank you for being here and joining us and sharing with us all about Book Mecca. I just think that is such a wonderful project, a wonderful thing that you're working on. So, as we finish up today, I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Wednesday Spotlight, where every week we chat with one woman entrepreneur who is succeeding in business and also has depression, because we are shining a light on mental illness and just raising awareness so that we can better care for each other in this world. So if you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel where you'll catch the Wednesday Spotlight, please go ahead and click on subscribe and also set up your notifications so you can get that. And I will share with you one thing that I have going on personally right now. In my own Facebook group called Savvy Women Entrepreneurs, Leaving the 9 to 5 to Live a Life They Love. I have a free 90-day training going on in there called From Startup to Profit in 90 Days. So if that's interesting to you, it's totally free and it's going on right now. So thank you again, Shaylon, for being
Thank
here,
you.
and God bless you